from the Big Flem studio in Southern California. This is Big Flem's Pigskin Picks NFL edition with your host, Lorenzo Big Flem Fleming. Hello, and Happy New Year 2021. We finally made it through the year 2020, and also we finally made it to the final week of the regular season of the NFL. And we're going to go ahead with Big Flem's Pigskin Picks NFL Edition 2020 for week number 17. I hope you guys had a great Christmas holiday and also well as a happy new year, and I wish you the best in your endeavors for this new year. In spite of dealing with COVID-19 pandemic is still raging in our country and around the world. Like I said, just please stay safe. Still practice social and physical distancing. 6 feet apart. Wear your mask. Wash your hands for at least 20 seconds, and definitely use hand sanitizer. Like I said, that's basically the only way we can flatten this curve right now, as well as they, putting out the new COVID-19 vaccine, trying to make it relatively available right now. The healthcare professionals and first responders are the first people to get it, as well as our president-elect, our current president, and our vice president-elect. All right, now let's get back to the subject at hand here. We're going to make our picks for the final week of the NFL season, where we got a couple of key games that will decide the playoff positioning as well. And also there are a couple of teams that might play spoiler and ruin teams that have a chance to make the playoffs in this final week of the season. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get this party started, shall we? Our first pick is an NFC South matchup. For one team, like I said, it'll make a difference as far as their playoff positioning, and the other team, well, it's been a disastrous year for my home state team, the Atlanta Falcons, where they had a lot of opportunities where games they lost, they should have won. And of course, I still couldn't get over that game that they choke away against the Dallas Cowboys early part of the season. And then plus, with this matchup, the first meeting with the Buccaneers, Atlanta had a chance to win, and they allowed Tom Brady to come back and beat him again. It seemed like Atlanta couldn't get over their choking away the Super Bowl 3 years ago. They couldn't get over, or 4 years ago. They couldn't get over it. So, of course, the Falcons have a rematch with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady and company. Like I said, the Buccaneers, they have a playoff spot right now as a wild card, but they can better position themselves as one of the wild card teams with a win over the Falcons today. I'm going to go against the grain considering how the Falcons suck this year. So we're going to pick the Buccaneers and Tom Brady and company over the Falcons. Sorry, Falcons fans, but hey, we got to start something. We got to start prepping for next season. So at least give the Falcons a head start. All right, our next matchup is a AFC East matchup, key matchup in the AFC East, where we have the 10-5 Dolphins, who are currently in the wild card spot, and they have to win in order to maintain that wild card position as they go to Buffalo to play the AFC division champs, the Buffalo Bills. And right now for the Buffalo Bills, they need this game as well, because right now Buffalo won't. Well, like I said, that's the highest it'll go as a number 2 seed, even with a win, because the Kansas City Chiefs already locked up the number 1 seed in the AFC. So that means the road to the Super Bowl 54, will go through Kansas City. So hopefully that right now with this win, they'll get the other slot for the first round bye in the playoffs over Miami. And like I said, Miami needs this win to keep pace in their wild card positioning, because right now they're tied with Baltimore and Cleveland. And right now. And then you got Indianapolis is on the outside looking in, but they still have a shot to win the AFC South today with their game again, and especially with Tennessee currently leading the AFC South, but they both tied. So you kind of get the gist of what I'm saying. So let's move on. So with our picks, we picked the Buffalo Bills over the Miami Dolphins, aka the Tuna Fish. Then our next matchup, we have the Baltimore Ravens that we just mentioned a few minutes ago. They have a game against the woeful 4-10-1 Bengals. So like I said, it's a very meaningful game. Of course, with their win, they need to hope the Dolphins lose so they can leapfrog the Dolphins in the wild card position. And also, they could knock the Dolphins out of the playoff picture as well, especially with Indianapolis. If Indianapolis wins and the Tennessee Titans become a wild card team. So we'll see how that scenario plays out. All right, our next matchup is definitely a key matchup here. This is the AFC North matchup where we got the 12-3 Steelers after winning last Sunday, after snapping a 3-game losing streak, after starting off the season 11-0. Right now, the Cleveland Browns definitely have to win in order to get into the playoffs. So this is a key game for the Cleveland Browns as well. So we'll go against the grain on this one. We will pick the Steelers over the Browns. All right, our next matchup, we have the NFC North game, which is a meaningless game anyway, but it still has to be played, with the 6-9 Minnesota Vikings traveling to the Motor City Motown to take on the hapless 5-10 Detroit Lions. So, like I said, this is a meaningless game, so I will go with Kirk Cousins and the Vikings in this matchup. All right, our next matchup is also a meaningless matchup, but it still has to be played. This is the first time in 13 years since the last time the Patriots didn't make the playoffs. So this will be a long while for Bill Belichick to sit on the sidelines early in the season. So we got you can call it the hot New York Jets. They won 2 in a row as they traveled to Foxborough to take on the Patriots at 6-9. And right now, this might be the end for Cam Fig Newton as this time at quarterback there, because right now they're thinking he will not be the quarterback next season for the Patriots. So I know they'll be looking for a veteran quarterback on the market. So we'll see how that turns out. But for now, we're going to pick the Patriots over the Jets in this matchup, folks. All right. We're going to go ahead and take our first break here on Big Flem's Pigskin Picks NFL Edition for week number 7. For NFL 2020 for week number 17, the final week of the regular season, here on Big Flem Radio and TV. Hey there, folks. This is Lorenzo Big Flem Fleming, creator and host of Big Flem Radio and TV, with a very important PSA in regards to COVID-19. As you know, our world has been ravaged by the coronavirus pandemic that has upended our normal daily routines. We must do our part to minimize the spread of COVID-19 by practicing social physical distancing, which is 6 feet space between each other, wear a face mask or shield, use hand sanitizer at all times, and wash our hands constantly for at least 20 seconds. Big Flem Radio and TV is sending out prayers for those who have been infected and recovering from this virus. Our hearts go out to those who lost loved ones and friends to this COVID-19 scourge. Please stay safe and do your part to help minimize the spread of COVID-19 until an FDA-approved vaccine is available. Big Flem Radio and TV cares.
It's simply $1 a day sales event where you can buy a brand new mattress for just $1 a day. $1 a day for a brand new mattress? That's less than a cup of coffee. Times are tougher, so Simply is making it more affordable than ever to get a great night's sleep. So during our $1 a day sales event, I'll take you $1 a day and your good credit to keep those restless nights away. $1 a day? That's less than a roll of mattresses I go through every 5 minutes. Plus save hundreds on Simmons, Sealy, Springer, the electrical socket. The cord whipped around in the air like a snake. The plug hit him right between the eyes just as he had turned to look at me. He never saw it coming. It knocked him right on his butt. He didn't have the vacuum in hand, but he was still holding his Heineken. Never spilled a drop. My kind of man. Well, at least he has his priorities in order. If you want to share a story you've heard over Heineken, call 1-800-44-RED-STAR. The machine is always on. Talk to you later. Heineken USA, White Plains.
Gnarly, dude. This is Jess Spicoli. When I'm out hanging tin, catching the waves, checking out the chicks, and skipping Mr. Hand's class, I'm listening to Big Flem Radio and TV. Oh.
New York.
Welcome back, folks. I'd like to say again, I hope you guys had a great Merry Christmas and hopefully have a favorable Happy New Year, Happy 2020. In spite of this COVID-19 pandemic that we're still dealing with, like I said at the opening of the show, please practice social and physical distancing, at least 6 feet apart from other people when you're out and about. Definitely wear your mask and, of course, use hand sanitizer. Keep plenty at your workspace, around your home, and carry a little bottle with you in your pocket and in your purses if you carry purses or fanny packs or whatever, or backpacks. And also definitely wash your hands thoroughly for at least 20 seconds. So with that quick PSA, if you haven't by now, I urge you to please check out Big Flem Radio and TV website. It's a website that contains 6 podcast channels with a potential for another one in the near future, maybe this year. We'll see. That deals with sports, music, sports meaning mainly football, college and NFL football, talk, and music, and veterans issues and information. And also, we have a nice online store where you can find some Big Flem Radio and TV themed merchandise. So please, by all means, check out the website at www.bigflemradiotv.com. Again, that's www.bigflemradiotv.com. That's BIGFLEM as in Mike, RADIO TV. Now, if you want to be a guest picker for the Big Flem Pigskins Pick NFL and College Football Edition, like I said, we don't have that much seasons left, especially like I said, all we got left is the national title game for the college game. And also, we're getting ready to start the NFL postseason, the playoffs, starting next week. By all means, you can be a guest or be a guest prognosticator on our show, as well as if you want to be a guest DJ or if you want to send in your music request for whatever songs that you want to play on Big Flem on Big Flem Radio and TV, as well if you want to be a guest commentator for one of our talk channels, or if you're a veteran who wants to give a dedication to a federal veteran, or if you want to dedicate to a unit that's getting ready to deploy, by all means, please do so. Or if you have any comments or complaints, or if you have any ideas or suggestions how we can make Big Flem Radio and TV podcast channel better, also by means, you can do that as well. Just send us an email at bigflemradiotv@gmail.com. Again, that's bigflemradiotv@gmail.com. And also, we are in the social media realm as well. We have a Twitter page at the handle @Flem_radio. Again, that's Flem, FLEM as in Mike, _radio, RADIO. You can send us a tweet. And also, we have a Facebook page, Big Flem Radio and TV. And also, we have a YouTube channel with Big Flem Radio and TV. Like we said, we try to make some videos of some of our shows as well. Like I said, I haven't done many videos in a while, but in this year, 2021, we're going to delve more into that and add more videos. So please check it out. Please subscribe to the channel and also hit us a like. Check it out. It's worth it. All right, now let's get back to our picks for week number 17 of the NFL season. I forgot to mention our stats. Like I said, I haven't been recording faithfully as I should this current season. And the numbers that we still have as of right now, we have 90 wins, 41 losses, and 1 tie with a 68% winning percentage. And we're 4-2 when it comes to Pigskin Pick of the Week. So, with that being said, let's continue on. Our next matchup, we have a NFC East matchup, because right now, with the Washington football team loss last week, it opened the door for all of the teams in the NFC East to have a chance to win a division and make a playoff berth. And the two teams we're about to mention will play each other. We have the Cowboys, aka the Cowpokes, at 6-9, going to MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New York, to take on the 5-10 New York Giants. Like I said, this game had some complications. Like I said, we're going to go with the Cowpokes, especially the way how Andy Dalton played last week. So we're going to go with the Cowboys, aka the Cowpokes, over the Giants. All right. In our next matchup, we have the NFC North matchup, which is the longest rivalry in NFL history. We have the Packers, the winner of the NFC North, at 12-3, go to the Windy City to take on the 8-7 Chicago Bears. The Bears! Right now, they're trying to fight for a wild card spot in the NFC. Right now, they're sitting at the last team in the wild card race. And right now, they have the Arizona Cardinals nipping at their heels. So a win for the Chicago Bears would definitely help their chances to solidify that last wild card spot. And like I say, for Green Bay, it could create problems for them, because right now they're the number one seed in the NFC. They're leading by one game. And if they lose and the New Orleans win today, New Orleans will win the number one seed in the NFC playoffs. So this is a key game for both teams. So I'm going to stick with the baddest man on the planet. We're going to go with Aaron Rodgers and company and pick the Packers over the Bears. The Bears! Sorry, I'm a Chicago fan, folks. All right, our next matchup is somewhat of a meaningless game. But for the Raiders, well, it's a meaningless game regardless. So it's a meaningless game, but it has to be played anyway. You got the 7-8 at Las Vegas Raiders traveling to the Mile High City of Denver to take on the 5-10 Denver Broncos. So both teams are just playing for, I guess, hopefully to get a better seeding in the draft, this coming NFL draft. So we're going to pick Derek Carr and the Las Vegas Raiders over the Broncos, and hopefully they have an 8-8 season and end the season on a high note. All right, our next pick is, I guess you can say, is an important game for one team. You got the woeful 1-14 Jacksonville Jaguars going to Indianapolis to take on the 10-5 Indianapolis Colts. Like I say, it has no meaning for the Jaguars, except the fact that, well, like I said, as of right now, they'll have the first pick in the draft, unless they beat the Colts and then the Jets win, or if the Jets lose, excuse me. So, but for the Colts, it means a whole lot, because they're on the outside looking in. And right now, if they beat the Jaguars and they need either Baltimore and Cleveland to lose, or right now, if they win and Tennessee loses, right now Tennessee is leading the AFC South, and they both tied at 10-5. So a win by the Colts with a Tennessee loss, then the Colts will be the AFC South champion, and the Tennessee Titans could be knocked out of the playoffs. And also, you got to take into consideration, and you got the Cleveland. You need Cleveland to lose, as well as Baltimore to lose. Either one of those teams have to lose for the Colts to get in. So we're going with the Indianapolis Colts in this one, folks. Then our next matchup, it's kind of a meaningless game, because you got the Chargers at 6-9 traveling to Arrowhead to take on the AFC West champion and defending Super Bowl champs, the Kansas City Chiefs, at 14-1. Even if they lose, it doesn't hurt their standing, because they won because they virtually locked up the number one seed in the AFC for the playoffs. So this could be a game where they can sit Patrick Mahomes, and they can afford to lose this one, and it won't affect them. So we're going to go with the Chiefs. So they have nothing to lose and really not much to gain, anything to gain. In the next matchup, there's a key game in the NFC West where we have the 8-7 Cardinals traveling to SoFi Stadium in Inglewood to take on the 9-6 Rams. Like I said, this is a key game in the NFC because right now the Rams are sitting as a second team in the wild card spot, and Arizona is on the outside looking in, especially if the Bears lose. Because like I said, if Arizona beat the Rams and the Bears lose, the Rams might still get in, barely, and the Bears will be knocked out. Now, if the Rams win, then basically Arizona is officially eliminated. But then again, if the Rams win and the Bears lose, there might be a chance that the Cardinals will still make the playoffs. We'll see. But for now, we're going to go with the Cardinals over the Rams in this matchup, folks. All right, our next matchup is our other NFC West matchup. Like I say, in this game, it has meaning for one team, the Seattle Seahawks, winners of the NFC West Division title, and also it can affect their seeding in the playoffs. Let's see, if they win and New Orleans lose, then Seattle will be the second seeded team in the NFC in the playoffs, and they can probably get that first round bye as well. And like I said, with the loss, well, they won't lose any ground, they lose anyway. So, but for 49ers, they have nothing to gain. So we're going to pick the Seahawks of Russell Wilson and company to win over the 49ers. And then speaking of the Saints, 11-4, they play the pathetic Panthers of Carolina at 5-10 in Charlotte, the Queen City. And of course, the win, they'll solidify their second place in the NFC. But if Green Bay loses, then the Saints could take the number one seed in the NFC playoffs with a win and a Green Bay loss. So we're going with the Saints on this matchup, folks. And then our next matchup, like I said, has meaning for one team. The Tennessee Titans at 10-5 traveling to Houston to take on the 4-11 Texans with Deshaun Watson and J.J. Watt. I don't know if you saw that tirade that J.J. Watt had after the post-game interview last week. You know how he's feeling about the team. So, and like I said, for the Titans, right now, the Titans leading the AFC South division, and with a win can lock it up. And also a Colts loss will lock up the AFC South title. And if a loss, they could be a wild card team, or they could be eliminated out of the playoffs. So there's different scenarios for the Titans. So the Texans could be the spoiler here. So we're going to go with the Titans and a win over the Texans. And last but not least, we have the Washington football team at 6-9, who blew a chance to clinch the NFC East division last week. They play the Eagles at 4-10-1. And like I said, of course, with the win, the Washington football team will clinch the NFC East title. With a loss, more than likely they're out. And hopefully, the Giants, if the Giants take out the Cowboys, because I believe in that scenario, the Giants will win the division by virtue of a tiebreaker. So we're rooting for the Washington football team to wrap it up. And of course, that they got rid of Haskins, their first round pick, that quarterback they had. They got rid of him. So they figured he wouldn't be a fit for the Washington football team moving on. So best of luck to you, Haskins. Hopefully you'll find another NFL gig somewhere. All right, folks, let's take another break, and we'll do our wrap up for this week. Week 17 of the NFL season, the final week of the NFL season, here on Big Flem Radio and TV.
Flem Radio wants you to know that approximately every 51 minutes, someone is killed in a drunk driving crash. Buzz driving can also cause huge financial penalties with fines and legal fees. Friends, don't let friends drive drunk. Find out more at NHTSA.
Inside every bottle of Canada Dry Seltzer is a celebration. It's an exhilarating, tingly experience that touches your senses. Because it's a celebration of the healthy way more and more people are living today. It's a celebration for working out, for dieting, for taking care of your body. It's a Canada Dry celebration that will explode your thirst. Refresh your taste. Canada Dry Seltzer, the virtually salt-free sparkling water that's right for the way you live today. Because it's sugar-free, calorie-free, and of course, virtually salt-free. So Canada Dry Seltzer is nothing but pure refreshment. Come on, don't just refresh yourself anymore. Seltzer break. Aren't you ready for Canada Dry Seltzer?
.org.
And now the continuing studies of Dr. Enzo Asphalt, behavior modification specialist. Okay, everyone, just say the first word that comes to mind. Dog. Midas? Good. Brakes. Brakes? All right, we went over this. I say brakes, and you say Midas. Well, that's good, but Midas, yes, they're the muffler experts, but they also service brakes, as well as rotate and set pressure on tires, top fluids, change the oil and filter, and check out your car systems from headlight to tail lamp. So, let's try again. Brakes. Oil change. Cooling system inspection. Well done, let's break for lunch. All right, that's quite enough. Now, how about a pizza? I hate my job. You can trust the professionals at Midas to help make sure your car is running safe and smooth. Come in today for the $34.95 maintenance special. Only at Midas, your auto systems experts.
Hi. I'm here today because I'm addicted.
Big Flem Radio and TV.
Get ready. You know.
Now that's an addiction, man.
Welcome back, folks. Well, let's go ahead and do our recap for week number 17, the final week of the NFL season 2020, here on Big Flem Radio and TV. Like I said, we picked the Buccaneers over my home state, the Atlanta Falcons. We picked the Buffalo Bills over the Miami Dolphins, aka the Tuna Fish. We picked the Ravens over the Bengals, aka the Bungles. We picked the Steelers over the Browns. We picked the Vikings over the Lions, aka the Kitty Cats. We picked the Patriots over the Jets, Jets, Jets. We picked the Cowboys, aka the Cowpokes, over the New York Giants, aka the Midgets. We picked the Green Bay Packers over the Chicago Bears, the Bears. And we picked the Raiders over the Broncos. And we picked the Indianapolis Colts over the Jacksonville Jaguars. And we picked the defending Super Bowl champs and likely favorite to repeat, Kansas City Chiefs over the LA Chargers. We picked the Arizona Cardinals over the LA Rams, aka the Sheep. And we picked the Seattle Seahawks over the 49ers. And we picked the New Orleans Saints over the pathetic Carolina Panthers. And we picked the Tennessee Titans over the Houston Texans. And last but not least, we picked the Washington football team to beat the Eagles and hopefully win that last playoff spot and win the NFC East division. So we hope we keep our fingers crossed on these matchups, folks. All right, as of today, this is what our playoff standings look like. We have the AFC. We got Kansas City Chiefs, which clinched the number one seed in the AFC at 14-1. Then right now we got Buffalo at 12-3, as well as Pittsburgh at 12-3. Buffalo is in the second spot, and Pittsburgh in the third spot. And then we have the Tennessee Titans at 10-5. As of right now, we have the wild card. We got Miami, the number one wild card seed, and Buffalo's number 2, and Cleveland at number 3 at 10-5. But also, we still have the Indianapolis Colts on the outside looking in. And like I said, there could be a whole lot of changes after today. Could the Tennessee Titans clinch that AFC South title? Or will the Colts win it and make the Tennessee Titans a wild card team if Baltimore or Cleveland loses or Miami loses? We will see. As far as the NFC side of the house, right now it's a tight race for the number one seed in the NFC. Right now, Green Bay is sitting at number 1 at 12-3, and the New Orleans Saints at 11-4, as well as the Seattle at 11-4, and the Washington football team at 6-9. So there could be a bunch of changes here as far as the positioning in the NFC East, as far as the leaders are concerned. Because if Green Bay loses and New Orleans wins, then New Orleans will clinch the number one seed in the NFC, and the Seahawks could clinch a number 2 seed. Or they could clinch number 1 seed. It depends on the different scenarios that play out. And like I said, Washington, if they win, if they beat the Eagles, they'll clinch that last spot as a division winner and clinch the NFC East outright. But like I said, Dallas could have a claim if they beat, who they play today? Beat the Giants. So, and Tampa Bay already locked up a wild card spot, so they won't be able to move up any farther than that. So at least they're in with Tom Brady. So Tom Brady continues his streak in the playoffs. And like I said, the Rams could be bounced out of the playoff picture altogether if they lose. And then, like I said, the Bears, they also have a wild card spot as well. But if they lose to Green Bay, and if Arizona Cardinals win, because right now they're on the outside looking in, and if Arizona wins and Chicago loses, then Arizona will take that last wild card spot. So let's see how this game shapes up today. So I hope you guys enjoy the games. And again, my name is Lorenzo Big Flem Fleming here. I'm your host and creator of Big Flem Pigskin Picks NFL Edition 2020, as well as Big Flem Radio and TV channel. So tune in next week for another edition. And also please check out our final edition of Big Flem's Pigskin Picks College Football Edition National Championship game on 11 January. We'll discuss the national title game for the college football season, as well as we'll also check in next week's game for the NFL picks for our wild card weekend, and also keep up with the latest news of Black Monday, which is usually the time when you see a lot of coaches get fired the day after the regular season ends. So far, a couple of coaches already got fired already. Of course, Dan Quinn of the Atlanta Falcons got fired early in the season, and then Matt Patricia of the Detroit Lions got fired. So right now they're talking about Adam Gase is going to get the axe tomorrow for the Jets. So keep abreast of your news if you get it from Yahoo Sports or ESPN like I do, or any other sports channel. Get your latest headlines and news. All right, folks, that about wraps it up. I hope you guys have a great Sunday. Be blessed, take care, and stay safe. And please listen again to Big Flem Radio and TV. And also please check out the website as well at bigflemradioandtv.com. Take care, stay safe, peace. Hey there, folks. This is Lorenzo Big Flem Fleming, creator and host of Big Flem Radio and TV, with a very important PSA in regards to COVID-19. As you know, our world has been ravaged by the coronavirus pandemic that has upended our normal daily routines. We must do our part to minimize the spread of COVID-19 by practicing social physical distancing, which is 6 feet space between each other, wear a face mask or shield, use hand sanitizer at all times, and wash our hands constantly for at least 20 seconds. Big Flem Radio and TV is sending our prayers for those who have been infected and recovering from this virus. Our hearts go out to those who lost loved ones and friends to this COVID-19 scourge. Please stay safe and do your part to help minimize the spread of COVID-19 until an FDA-approved vaccine is available. Big Flem Radio and TV cares. Big Flem Radio and TV is a production of Flem Media in association with LWF Enterprises Limited Liability Company. The NFL opening theme is a property of Fox Sports. Big Flem Radio and TV does not own any rights or any compensation to the products that has been played, and this podcast is intended for entertainment purposes only.